Hello again, dumbbell. All in a day's work. Push, damn you!
What the hell?
Is this... Mon Dieu! No!
Hello and welcome back to my model train review series, where today we are taking a look at the Bachmann F-unit in an Amtrak livery. This locomotive I got secondhand, and I gotta say, it's one of the greatest secondhand things I've ever got. The livery is pretty nice. The pancake motor is something I'll get to later in the video, but other than that, the livery is amazing. I mean, I love this old Amtrak livery. I wish they still used it. I mean, look at it. Blue, silver, red, pretty good. This locomotive is also pretty decently heavy, so it gets some good traction. Of course, like I said, the motor is something to be desired. There's even detailing around the windows, like silver lining. The horns are even separately fitted. It's a pretty decent locomotive all around. I mean, it even has a light inside of it. Of course, mine, I put on KD couplers, but of course, other than that, it's mostly in its original state. And now would be the part of the video where I would start talking about, hey, how does it run? But I decided to change it up. So today, we're going to be talking about the history of it. So here's the history of the F-7. The General Motors F-unit was built in 1939, and it lasted until 1960. The F-units were originally meant for freight services, such as hauling coal, hauling boxcars, you name it, basically. And because of this, they were built with no steam generators, which would come more common with the later iterations of the F-units. And it was from this work in freight that they got a cute little nickname, basically covered wagons, from railfans. But soon, railway companies decided to convert some of their F-units into passenger service, by basically adding steam generators and everything needed for passenger service. And guess what? The F-units were pretty successful at passenger service. They were really reliable, they were cheap to maintain, and in order to operate, they were pretty good for what they did. And that's what most people remember the F-units for, is their passenger service. And don't get me started on the liveries that these companies went with, such as Union Pacific with their beautiful livery, or the iconic war bonnet from Santa Fe. Hell, there's even people who like the Great Northern livery, which, good on you, I kinda like it too. And then Amtrak came along with their livery, and I sorta like it. It's pretty cool. Because so many companies actually operated these, there's a whole bunch of these in preservation. I mean, there's this one, a Super Chief, then there's also this one, a Conrail. Mind you, I'm getting these videos from YouTube. I don't actually go out and rail fan. In fact, one of the first units is actually still around, which I find is pretty amazing. And due to the popularity and successfulness of the F-units, they even built upon them and made newer units, more likely E, F, G units. And that means that not only do the F-units survive to this day, but a lot of their descendants and their ancestors do to this day as well, which I find is pretty surprising for an old locomotive like this. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's talk about the flaws of this locomotive. The pancake motor is not really that great. It grinds, but it does do what it's supposed to. I don't know what the grinding is caused by. It is old, it's from the 90s, but I've greased it, everything, but it still grinds. I even replaced some of the gears. I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. Probably the motor. I replaced it here at one point. And the story of how I got it secondhand was actually pretty interesting. I actually got it from a model train museum, and they didn't want anything to do with Tyco, or even Bachmann, so I was able to take these home. Either that or they would have been thrown away. So yeah, that's how I got this, and I got for free technically, so it's one of the freest things and one of the best things I got for free. This is a part of the video where I'd like to thank the people who watched the first video and left such good, stuff. Thank you guys. Really encouraged me. See you later.
He went to a workshop and they showed him all sorts of engines. At last he saw a smart little green engine. That's the one, he thought.